Welcome to Real Estate Radio LA. I am your host, Gil.Azcarate. I am saving the American dream one show at a time. So, Real Estate Radio LA, what do we talk about? We're talking about real estate in LA. What a concept. I've thought about it. It was a genius plan on my part, and it was probably the easiest thing I've ever done. I've always wanted to do radio. I've always wanted to just talk about real estate, and it just came to me, why is there no real estate shows dedicated to your market, Los Angeles? I've been in Los Angeles for 54 years. I'm 57 years old. I am from Colombia, Sudamerica. I speak Spanish. Thank you for all the people that have reached out to me in the past. My Colombian friends, my Latino supporters, thank you for supporting me and reaching out and just saying, hey, you know what? We're proud to hear you on the radio, and I am proud to be here on such a wonderful radio station like 870 The Answer. So Real Estate Radio is the fastest growing real estate radio show in LA because I'm the only one. And here I am, again, saving the American dream one show at a time. You think about it. What's the American dream? Why did your parents come here? Why did their parents come here? What do you want? It's to own a home. And sometimes it's becoming the American nightmare. You better know what you're doing in LA. You better know what you're doing, because this is the most litigious city and the most litigious state and the most litigious country in the world. And I don't want to scare you, but real estate is the greatest investment there is. So welcome to the show. Ask yourself this: where's all your money? If you own real estate, where's all your money? Is it in your savings account? Is it in your checking account? Are you going to live off Social Security? Or you really have a huge amount of money accumulated, especially in the last year, in your real estate? And I hope you do own real estate. I don't know a wealthy person who does not have a big chunk of their portfolio tied up in real estate. So we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, but we're also going to talk about when you buy real estate, you're buying two things. You're buying a mortgage and you're buying property. And I'm telling you right now, our show today is about money. I've got a great guest today, mortgage lender. There's 1,000 mortgage lenders. I picked Iman Afshar as a very good friend of mine because he is special. I really feel like his service is there, and he's got some special programs. And also after the break, if we have time, we're going to talk about title theft insurance. Should you get it? Or is it a scam and a waste of money? So stay tuned for that. But first off, Iman Afshar, tell me a little bit about yourself. Welcome to the show, Iman.
Hey, Gil. Thank you for having me. Congratulations on this new show. Really proud to be part of it, and looking forward to your growth and hearing a lot more of it.
Thank you, buddy, and thank you for your support. Iman and I have known each other for 20 years. He was a young kid, single, basketball playing star. We played basketball together, and then all of a sudden he got into real estate, and then he created this very successful business, expanding to other states. But tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about your company so people know who we're talking to.
Sure, thanks. My company is National One Loans. We're located in Woodland Hills, California. So I started back in 2005, got into the business, had my first mortgage company back then, did great, and then the economy crashed. I went away for about 2 years, did some development, did some internet development, came back to the industry about a decade ago, and have been pushing hard ever since. We are brokered with, the nation's top 20 lenders, and we service many different loan programs from full doc to stated loans, bank statement loans, to rental income loans. So you name it, we have it. And we have a very, very beautiful team here. Everyone here, I like to call them beautiful because they are inside and out, very friendly, and service is what we take pride in.
Yeah, gorgeous office in Warner Center, Woodland Hills. It is really well put together, but you're also a techie. I mean, you do a lot of this stuff online. A lot of times the people don't even have to come to your office. And I think a lot of people appreciate that, but you're also very welcoming. when somebody does want to do the old-fashioned way of seeing somebody in a COVID world, it's very disconnected. But we're talking about, $500,000, $1 million. And some people are old-fashioned, and they just have to shake somebody's hand, see somebody's face, and talk in person. And you've always been really, really welcoming to a lot of my clients. And some of them are older, and some of them are less experienced, and some of them are very experienced. We're talking about hard money. Sometimes you've got some hard money contacts too, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We have hard money. We have specific programs for builders, developers, or even individuals who are primary homeowners and they live in the home. And a lot of hard money companies, they're not allowed to lend to owner-occupied properties, RESPA rules and such. So we do have federally approved lenders who are licensed and allowed to give, for example, no income, no employment type of loans to primary homeowners.
And then, when you think about it, because when somebody hears that, right? No income, no documentation. Doesn't that sort of sound like what happened back in 2004, 5, and 6 and got us into problems? Or what makes this different?
Well, yeah, first of all, I do agree with you. These are the types of loans that became available before we saw the last decline and the collapse, 2008. And it may happen in the future. We don't know where the market lays. But they are available right now. They've become available within the last year or so. I don't see the market shifting anytime soon, but these are signs to look forward to of the market shifting.
Yeah, and I say that not to challenge you, but it's to challenge our thinking too, because I still think banks are being a lot more conservative than they were back then. They were being irresponsible back in the early 2000s. Do you agree?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Back then, it wasn't just the income documentation that wasn't required, but just the way that mortgage lenders and brokers were allowed to facilitate these loans and do outrageous charges to the borrowers. So it wasn't just a lack of income that made the last collapse, but just in the industry as a whole when it comes to disclosures and guidelines and allowing borrowers to know what they're really getting themselves into.
Right, and back then it was fraudulent. You'd have, and I talked about this before. Your gardener, undocumented, no real income, had 3 lines of credit, and he was able to buy a $750,000 house. And then he thought, you know what, maybe I can buy it again, and I'll buy another one for my brother and my sister. And now you've got this person who's making $40,000 a year buying 5 houses. So it was a false economy. So that was really irresponsible. But some of your programs is just looking at income at a different level. COVID affected so many people's income, but maybe they've got income coming in on this rental property, and you'll look at that as a separate income source. Correct? It's not just based on the person; it's based on their real estate.
Yeah, of course. So banks have learned to compartmentalize the incomes from different sources. So, for example, if you're an investor and you haven't filed your taxes and can't show the income on your tax returns, but you have rental properties, you have rental income from those properties. So lenders have a program called DSCR, which is Debt Service Cover Ratio. So essentially what they'll do is they'll look at your rental property, they'll appraise it, and in that appraisal, they will get a rental survey. So basically, the appraiser will come and say, this property can bring in a rental amount of $5,000 a month, or whatever that amount may be. Now the lender uses that rental survey amount as qualifying income for that property. So the property itself is essentially qualifying for itself.
A standalone entity, a standalone business.
Correct.
You're looking at that particular property based on that potential income generator. And a lot of times it got so much more complicated, right? Because they were looking at so many other things, and then a good deal would fall through the cracks because the person had a bad year, or they're self-employed and they deducted and didn't show a lot of income. But that deal was a great deal, and like I always say, it's always a great time to make a great deal, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
So a lot of times people are forced into hard money. Tell me a little bit about hard money. What for the novice? What does hard money mean?
So hard money is a term, primarily used within the industry. Others call it private money. It's essentially a non-owner property, an investment property, where an individual did not have any income to show for getting financing on that property. Now, what the lenders will do is they'll look at the value of that property and how much equity will remain in the property after they furnish a loan, and will solely base their financing on the equity that the lender has secured in that property. So, for example, if a house is worth $1 million, a hard money or a private money lender will come and say, well, I'll give you a loan up to $700,000 on this house without you proving any income to me. Your credit can be, in the 500s, very poor. Them knowing that, number one, they're charging you a high interest rate, anywhere from 8 to 10%, and they'll charge you points as well. And usually these are short-term, anywhere from 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. Now, what's great is one of the programs we have can get individuals who already are in hard money out of hard money without having to show any income, without having to show even employment, and the rates would be anywhere from 5.5% to 6.5%.
Wow. See, that's great. So when people go initially hear 8 to 10% in a world where everybody is talking about, you hear commercials, 2%, 3%, 8 to 10%, but that's not a lot of money because it's such a short period of time. It's really, they make money on their points, correct?
Sure. The lenders will charge points, 1-2% on the loan amount, and the 10 to 12%, 8 to 10% range, that only lasts for a year and a half, and then the homeowner is required to refinance back out or sell the property. Now, individuals who get these loans typically get them because they need them in a rush manner, and they may want to be doing some remodeling to the home and possibly flipping the home. So these are not permanent loans. These are short-term loans that don't require any income verification. Now, we don't promote these products. In fact, like what I just mentioned, we have similar types of loans and whose interest rates are anywhere from 5.5% to 6.5%. So you're still getting all the benefits of not having to document your income or having to prove your employment, but still getting a much better interest rate than a typical private or hard money loan.
Right, and I love that because at the end of the day, it's a sort of a hybrid. It's not hard money; it's private money. I love the way you say that, and it's still secured. It's still great. If you can get a great deal, go get it. Don't be afraid. There's a lot of moving parts. Iman, give me your phone number real quick. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Call me direct. My cell phone is always available at 818-312-1515. And I look forward to anyone calling in.
And tell me your website real quick.
It's nationaloneloans.com, all spelled out. nationaloneloans.com.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Can you hold on for a little bit?
Sure. We're
going to take a quick break. We will be right back. This is Real Estate Radio LA with your host, Gil.Azcarate, and we'll talk to you in a bit.
Excellent.
Okay. Perfect on timing? Yeah. Good job, buddy. Okay, so on the break, maybe we'll talk. Okay, so now we talked a little bit about that. We're going to give
New
you
subject.
What's that?
New subject.
Well, I do want to get your opinion. What do you think about title theft insurance?
I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
So I can't speak much on it.
Yeah, and then you can say, I'm going to ask you that. Just say, good, because it's sort of going to be a teaser. So when you and I come back, I'm going to say, okay, so we're talking to Iman Afshar, lender, one I highly recommend. We're going to give your information again. And then I'll talk to you about, let me bring up the fact that say, hey, Iman, I know you're expanding to other states, and you can do loans. You can do loans in other states?
Hello?
Can you? Are you there?
You cut out.
Okay, can you do loans in other states?
Certain products we can, stated products we can, the SCR loans that we just mentioned, the rental income properties we can. Mm-hmm. So if someone wanted to cash out from their property here and go and purchase in another state, 45 states we can do that the SCR loan.
Okay, so I'll ask you about that, and I'm also going to ask you. So you know how I've got my the program, Flip Your Own Home. Maybe we'll say I've got this USP, unique selling proposition, flipping your own home as opposed to selling it to an investor. What would you recommend on that?
As far as the loan goes?
Yeah.
It depends on the individual's situation. I always recommend if they have tax returns and income that they can prove, always to use that first, because they'll get the best interest rates.
Okay.
Next, if they only have bank statements, we'll use that next. So it all depends on the individual's situation. Everyone is different. Every loan is unique, and that's why we try to specialize in all of them, not just one or two.
Oh, good. And then I'll talk to you about your opening up an office in South Carolina. You know, you and I, again, we're speaking to a conservative crowd, saying you and I are also, not only are you expanding, but we're also very frustrated with what's going on in California, in Los Angeles. And, you know, it's one of those things I want to tell people, say, hey, take your money and run. Take your money and run. Iman will be in South Carolina. If you're interested in buying and investing in another market, I highly recommend you getting in contact with Iman, getting a loan, and finding something. Take your money here for $1 million for a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and go there and buy, 10 units or 5 units. Right. So
and a lot of people, it's not a secret that so many people are leaving California for specifically this reason. Right.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So we'll go back on that. National One Loans. Okay, we'll be, let's go. We're ready to go.
All right.
All set, whenever you're ready.
Welcome back, everybody, to Real Estate Radio LA. I am your host, Gil.Azcarate, and I've got Iman Afshar. Thank you for holding after the break, Iman.
Sure.
I want to run a couple things by you. You and I are not only just friends, but we just think a lot alike. And I know I've got a program that's called Flip Your Own Home, right? And the concept there, as you know, but explaining it to my listeners, is instead of selling your house at a discount to an investor fixes it up and flips it, is me, can lend you the money, or you have in different programs that maybe give them the money to fix their own home. Because a lot of times you inherited your mom's home, right? Or somebody gave it to you and it's out of state, or it's in an area you're not familiar with, or you just don't have the money or don't want to deal with contractors. And you've got, and I know every case is different, but there's loans to help people flip their own home, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll give you an example. If someone right now wanted to flip their home and they thought they can get better value by doing some remodeling to it, obviously they can get a higher sales price if they do that. So they don't have to worry about having the necessary income. Obviously, it would be great to be able to have and show that income, because you do ultimately get better interest rates. But if someone is in a position and they're not sure, or they don't have the income to show, we can put them in a no-income, no-employment type of loan with interest-only options, where they can go ahead and take that cash out, put it back into their property with your help, and list it and get the maximum profitability out of that home. And they do see a greater return if they do that.
Correct. And we're saying, if you're going to flip your own home, or you're going to let somebody else flip your home, 2 things you're afraid of. Getting money, you don't know where to get it, and a lot of times you're afraid of contractors. So it's a team. Iman helps with the money side, or I help with the money side. I can give you some contractors. So if you're interested in flipping your own home, please reach out to me and reach out to Iman. Iman's phone number is 818-312-1515. That's his cell phone number, 818-312-1515. I want to run something. I just want to ask you about personally. I know you're expanding, and I know you're closing an escrow in South Carolina, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Got to be excited. And you are an LA guy, LA Laker fanatic. And just the fact that you are leaving LA is amazing. But tell me, on the personal side, I know you're expanding your business. On the personal side, why? Why are you leaving your hometown?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'm an LA guy. I mean, I got Kobe plates on. I'm a Laker guy. Love LA. Grew up here. Nostalgic for leaving, but I thought that this time, where we are right now, in this state situation, I thought it would be best for me to be elsewhere. Although I love California, just the policies and just how it's got scary out here in some places.
Yeah.
And I just feel safer physically for my family being in a different state right now.
Raising kids. You got a beautiful daughter. How old's your daughter?
16.
Say hi to them. Say hi to them because I love your family. Tina, I love you. You're a wonderful, wonderful person, a wonderful mom.
Thank you.
And you're doing a great job on raising your daughter. But it is a tough place in a tough world right now to raise kids. And LA, with this homelessness, it's out of control. And I'm telling people all the time, are you think it's getting better? I mean, is homelessness getting better? Or is it getting worse? And statistically, it's showing 60% growth in the last 2 years. What is our governor doing to fix the situation? And you and I have talked about this, and it is sad. A buddy of mine, Mark Clayman, is a great friend of mine. You went to Taft High School, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I went to El Camino High School in Woodland Hills. Mark Clayman, the executive producer of The Pursuit of Happiness, great friend of mine, just moved to Nashville. Billy Zabka. Wow. Billy Zabka, great friend of mine from the Karate Kid. And what's the show called now? Do you remember? Cobra Kai. Thank you, JJ. Cobra Kai. Killing it right now. Just moved to Nashville. What is more American than the Karate Kid? What is more American and more Valley than the Karate Kid? And we're moving. People are moving. Take your money and run, people. You know what? It's just, I don't see it getting any better, and it's a sad situation, and it's sad that you have to move, but it is what it is. Our money, we vote with our money, because in California, unfortunately, without getting too into it, we vote, and it doesn't matter. How sad is that?
It doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon either. It keeps on getting worse. I mean, my office is in a very good area, good location in the Valley right now, and just last week, there was a gentleman walking across the street, and he had absolutely zero clothes on. When I say zero, I mean zero.
Butt naked, walking down Victory Boulevard with shoes and a backpack.
Yeah, that's not a sight that I want my family to see.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, you see it everywhere. So, God bless you, brother. You are not only a beautiful person, a great businessman, a God-fearing Christian. And when my brother was sick, Tina reached out to me and prayed like no one has ever prayed. I don't want to cry, but you know what you mean to me. And it was absolutely beautiful what she did. She called me up and prayed out loud. And my brother is today here for all the people that really prayed for him. I believe in the power of prayer and a miracle. And I want to thank you publicly.
Yeah, we couldn't be happier for you, and especially Maurice. We love you guys and your family, and we're just happy that he's back home.
He's home. He's home. Still got a long way to go, as you know, but he's home. Again, Iman, thank you. I love you, brother. 818-312-1515. Get a hold of him. That's his cell phone number. Ask a question. Don't be afraid. I will meet with you, and we will put a plan together and get you out of the situation or get you into a great situation. So, Iman, we'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you, brother. Love you. Talk to you.
All right, brother. Love you too. All right, guys. On another topic, one of my I've mentioned it before is title theft insurance, and I had a listener call me and say, "Hey, when are you going to do your title theft insurance? I've been waiting for weeks." That's a teaser, buddy, and it worked. I kept you waiting and listening for weeks. I wish I could remember your name. I'm going to look up my notes, and I do have an opinion on title insurance. First of all, title insurance. Theft and title insurance theft insurance. I even think they probably advertise on this radio station. I called out to one of the biggest title theft insurance companies, and I tried to talk to them and get some insight on what they really do, and I could not. It was really frustrating. I was going, who's your marketing? Let me talk to somebody, vice president. Let me ask some questions, hard questions. I'm going to be doing a radio show on the topic, and I could not get anybody on the phone. Okay, first of all, what is title insurance? Okay, so title insurance is protecting your legal rights to a property, right? So when you sell or refinance a property, title insurance, so think about it, it's an insurance to make sure that the person selling the house is the seller and has the right to sell the house, okay? And all of a sudden, somebody comes out of the woodwork and an ex-wife or a cousin or somebody says has the rights to that property, and they're going to sue you because you didn't have the rights to sell it or didn't have the rights to buy it. Long story short, that's what title insurance does. And what was happening with all these short sales is there was a lot of fraud. And people were falsifying documents, and people were selling properties or assuming properties and taking over people's title. That was the Wild West of 2008, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Title insurance is exactly that. It's not title theft insurance. Title insurance is really protecting you that you are buying or selling a house that you have the rights to sell. In a nutshell, title theft insurance, my opinion, is not worth it. It's a new business to try to scare you into getting a product that you don't necessarily need. Now, again, if there's a title theft insurance company that wants to come and challenge me and give me a bunch of stats, not that it happened once, twice, 3 times, but it's happening in a huge quantity, and then please reach out to me. My phone number is 818-632-8006. That's 632-8006. I don't have, that's basically in a nutshell, title theft insurance. That is my thoughts on that. We can have more details on that. But the show, I wanted to spend some time with Iman. My name, Gil.Azcarate. I am Latino. I speak Spanish. I want my Latino brothers and sisters to reach out to me and let me know and support me in my radio show. And I will take care of you. Police officers, please call me. I will give you a huge discount. I love you guys. You put your life on the line every day, and you're not getting the respect you need. But go on my website, realestateradio.la.com. That's realestateradio.la.com, or go to 870 The Answer and look me up. God bless you guys. God bless America, and we'll talk to you soon.